Okay, I'm so tired, but I'm coming back up to do a video. You can look at the drop pile here. So this is the drop from all the gypsum we've put on the building so far. Not much to speak of. A lot of our stuff had little damages, so some of it got cut out. This is our excess sheathing, and this is our prep for roof tomorrow. So the roof is coming, and I learned something on one of our other projects, which is you've got to terminate your roofing pressure bar if you have a roof anything like this, of course. My pressure bar onto a weather barrier and not onto raw gypsum, because then how do you get a weather barrier shingled in behind it? It's impossible. So everywhere the roof is going to touch, we've got a weather barrier installed, and that includes the sides of the parapet here as well, which look like that. So the roofing is going to come across the top of the parapet and then wrap down the wall, and then the pressure bar is going to be on the outside of the wall, and that's going to hold it on, and then that's going to be on top of this weather barrier. Now, there is some like shingling questions about that, because this weather barrier is coming down from the top, and our future weather barrier is going to come up from the bottom and be shingled up this way. So we kind of have it a little backwards, but the sequencing of getting the roof on right now is way more important. And I have a 100 millimeter Tuscan Vanna dual release tape that it was my intention to put at the top of this wall and then hang it down and let the second release not be peeled. But we're not going to put the Adhero on the rest of this building for like 3 months. So I looked at that tape and I didn't think that the backer would survive 3 months here in this climate, in the wind and going into fall. So I scratched that idea at the last minute, and I justified that by the fact that our weather barrier can come up from the bottom, shingled properly, and stop 1 millimeter away from the pressure bar. And then we can run a bead of fiber reinforced liquid flash down the bottom of the pressure bar to make a good connection. And then all of that stuff is getting covered by the parapet cap. And the parapet cap is a steel cap that's going to come down over top of that pressure bar joint. So it's not going to be tested. We're not going to have water testing that joint. And it is legitimate to put Adhero over Adhero reverse shingle and then do a tape seal at the top of it like this right here. These products are extremely compatible, and if you do Adhero over Adhero with a reverse shingle and a tape seal at the top, you can see this tape here. It's like 80% on the Adhero above and 20% on the one below, because it's about making that bond. So I'm okay with that. And like I said, we're going to run the pressure bar up to the pressure bar and liquid flash it. And then all of that is covered by the parapet cap anyway. So we're cool there. This is a complicated joint right here. Our overhang is 3 inches, and I'm not sure how this is going to go with the roofers tomorrow. So we made sure that we shingled all that in really good and then reinforced all of the joints just to make sure. I also have a 12-inch roll of ExoSeal that I'm considering putting on top of the edge here in 12 inches as a last ditch effort nail sealing tape, which it is really good for, because the roofers are going to nail a drip edge onto there, which is going to be a lot of through membrane penetrations. We have a 90 mil membrane on this roof, and the roofers promised me that it's not going to have a problem with these nail penetrations, but I'm still dubious. I've been on some other jobs where the membranes are not so great. So just wanted to show you, I got a bow tie in here. So this is a vulnerable corner. So everything comes up to it, but it doesn't really cover exactly the corner. So I made a bow tie. I got a bow tie in there really tight. And then these guys on here are just for extra reinforcement. We had to piece this adhero together. Up there's another piece. And we had a wind today about 20 miles an hour, and it was impossible to put big pieces of adhero on. We were able to get all these pieces in like 15-foot bolts. We split the adhero in half. But it's not real easy. Okay, so a couple thoughts about the top here. So the roofers wanted to have plywood at the drip edge, which of course I don't want plywood on the outside of my building, but they wanted it because it would provide a more firm surface for nailing their drip edge down. So we've got 3 2x6s underneath here, and surprisingly some of these fasteners still spun out. They're going directly into an edge of a 2x6. I just can't imagine that, but there's 3 2x6s there. And what we did is we put, so this is 5/8 dense deck, and we put 1/4 inch dense deck 5 inches. So from here to here, down underneath of this. And then we put 3/8 plywood on top of it. So it flushes out and it gives them what we want, but we still have a gypsum fire barrier, which is nice. So this is the roof. We've got fasteners on every board, 12-inch spacing, and all of these hit wood. They're not just into the sheathing, they're screwed into framing. So this is extremely well attached to the roof. I believe we have category 5 Miami-Dade nail pattern on these dense deck sheets, is what I was told. I have not separately verified that, but I believe it's going to really stay stuck on here. And so this adhero here is not necessary because the roofing membrane is going to come up and over this, and it's also going to wrap here and stop here. I could be convinced to stop it with a pressure bar here and here. So like come all the way down to the roof deck this way and then run across here and then across there. I'm gonna give the guys that option because I'm totally fine with this being outside of the building. We don't actually need roofing on this. So, but we are going to terminate on this side. We're going to terminate out here. It's got to be below this 5/8 dense deck, but it's going to be on the outside there. So we use these smaller washers here on the side. Probably not strictly necessary, but we are pretty high up here. This building is 30 feet tall. So it's 30 feet tall, and then on top of that we dug down into the ground like 4 feet when we built it, so it's like 34 feet actually. So I tried really hard to make sure that the end of the roof here didn't have like a swoop on it so it would hold water, and I think I got that. It's pretty smooth transition all the way off. These are 3-inch washers on here. So like I said, I have that Exto seal, and I would put that 12 inches right down here. So when they nail through it, it would nail seal. I'm going to see how they do tomorrow and see what their techniques are like. But that's the plan there. So yeah, we fire caulk all the joints because after your house burns down, you get a little fanatical. But there's a secondary reason for doing that, which is that the fire caulk is a very inexpensive caulk and it's fiber reinforced, and it connects the fire barrier together, which is great. But secondarily, which is actually the primary benefit, is that it seals the joint so water is not entering into the assembly, because you don't want water in between building materials if you can avoid it. Now, all of these building materials are vapor open today, and in the future the roof deck will dry down, so it can dry out the bottom. So once this is all black and the 90 mil EPDM is attached, the sun is going to hit it this summer, and any moisture, it's not wet now and it wasn't wet when we put the dense deck down, but any moisture that's in it will be driven out the bottom, and it'll be driven through the wall assembly on the parapet wall, which is completely encapsulated on all 6 sides and insulated with mineral wool. But it'll drive that moisture out the bottom. So this is dry now, but if one of those clouds sprinkles some water on it tonight, it'll still be okay because it'll shed bulk water because we caulked everything off, and then it'll dry out in the morning, and then any residual moisture will drive down through once the sun hits the deck. So that's the roof deck, and we're doing roofing tomorrow. So very exciting. It's going to be very stinky here because I have an entire pallet of adhesive that is going to go onto this roof deck. So it's going to be stinky. I may not be here for it because I don't like stinky stuff, but I'll probably get a video of it afterwards. So yes, it was very fun putting this together. The guys had a great time. Everybody really enjoyed it, and it was like an art project. So this is 5/8 dense deck, 4x8s, and it's primed. That's why it's gray. The guys call it green. I don't know. I think it's gray. It's kind of green-gray. And it's primed so that they can put their adhesive on it and it sticks really well. It's my experience that everything sticks. This Adhero, if you peel this off, it'll take this gray with it. So it's extremely sticky. And once you press it on, it's really, really, really on there. So there you go. That's the roof. I gotta go get pizza and go to bed because I got a lot of stuff going on tomorrow. We got 8 guys at the big house, and we got this house, roof going on, and just busy. I need a day off. It's 6 days a week, 10 hours a day, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., which means, practically speaking, I work like 12 hours a day because I got to be there before, be there after, and also I also have to go pick up materials in the evening. So I'm sleepy, I need a shower, and I'm going to get pizza. Thanks for watching this video. Bye.